right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakmadash, and Davana, to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Well, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and Shalom to the brothers out there preaching and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Barakathum. And I don't really have a topic per se in mind, but I do want to mention a few words about the idea of Stoicism and its value to you in the truth. Now, in the ancient world, you had Greeks that came up with the term Stoic, right, which is their own philosophy, which had tenets of the scriptures, it had elements of wisdom, but when you look at the overall deep dive into some of what these Stoics believed in, it was completely off. But the better examples of that would have been later on in the Roman Empire, like Marcus Aurelius. He's the most well-known and famous one, which I believe we all believe that he was a Jake, and he's one of the 5 Roman emperors. And he has a book called Meditations I recommend that brothers read. But he's the best example of it because it speaks on what you do when you have power, when you don't have power. It speaks on time management. It puts in line the value of things, all right? And one thing that can get you fucked up and out of this truth is having your priorities fucked up, man. All right, whether that be a woman, whether it be a job, all right. And one of the underlying principles of it is being able or having the ability to deny yourself, man. The term delayed gratification is really right out of the book of Stoicism, man. Can you delay something that's pleasurable and put it off for later? All right, and we have to think that way because Esau is complete opposite. He's combating it, man. Like having a Stoic mindset means you have a forward-looking mindset. You can see the future more clearly and more vividly better than other people, and that's what allows you to be able to save money better. That's what allows you to be able to put off pleasures and store it up for something greater later, because your clarity of the future is way better. All right, and what does Esau do in this society? He puts things in your face that shortens your attention span. He puts things in your face that feel really good in the moment, but on the back end it's empty. You know, and it's in everything from the media that we consume, all right, to the food that we eat. Everything tastes so good up front, but then you know it destroys your gut, man. It fucks up your sugar and your energy levels, all right, and it introduces all kind of toxins that puts your body in a constant fight or flight response, you know, and that's what we're up against, man. The scriptures say we battle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. All right, well, that's one of the things that it's talking about, man. All right, do you have a mindset to overcome all of these things? Because the enemy is attacking us all at the same time. Even the 2/3 Jakes. The 2/3 Jakes just don't know that they're being attacked. You know, they look at Esau as a savior, you know, especially our women. But the Lord is going to remedy that real soon in the elect, all right, that have basically said that I'm not going to try to save my life in this society. As a matter of fact, we're willing to give it up, you know, and that's written, man, that those who try to save his life shall lose it, you know. And that goes into the Stoic mindset, man. I was meditating again on the Maccabean account, which Lord willing, I get to be able to do a little bit longer form video on that Wikipedia page on it. But that was part of it as well too, man. All right. Stoicism is what allows you to be able to be a martyr. Because a martyr sees the value in his death to the greater society, even at the cost of his own self. And a person that's into hedonism, all right, which hedonism When you look that word up, Hedon, hedonism, all right, that's completely the opposite. All right, where you want to live in the moment. That's when you read Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter. You know, let us smell every flower of the field, let not one flower pass us by, and let's live in the moment. We only have one life. When you read Sirach 2, it speaks about people like that. That's a hedonism mindset, and that's the opposite of it. That's what Esau wants to offer you, man. All right, and it may seem benign or low level, but if you don't fight it, if you don't constantly exercise that out of you, man, it will take over, man. Lazy habits will start taking hold of you, man. Spending money you shouldn't really be spending, that demon will grow, man. It'll fester, you know? And we know that this is the attitude of America because look at credit card debt, man. People buying shit that they know that they can't afford because they're just programmed to it. At this point, it's part of the culture. It's part of the philosophy. See? And we are to be separate from this place, man. We are to be completely separate from this place. You know? God down, man. So that's the mindset that we got to be in, man, and start looking at areas of your life, of your life that you can improve in, man. Whether it be time management, all right. Whether it just be staying sharp in the scriptures, all right. Learn a skill, man. Learn a hobby, man. You know. Do you know how to start a fire? Can you build a tent? You know, and to whatever your heart is content, but you need to be occupied in things that are gonna have value and utility to you, man. You know, nothing wrong with video games, switching off. You know, we have long days at work. You want to switch off and escape. You know, hell, I watch a movie or a little bit of a TV show or something. You know, here and there, but ultimately, man, we have to stay grounded in this thing. That's why the scriptures speak about being sober, man. All right. Why? Because being sober allows you to have that clarity of the future, you know, which is what we're occupied in. We're occupied in prophecy, man. We stay locked in on prophecy. That makes us the ultimate Stoics because we see an ultimate prize and we're denying all of the shit that we could be doing. Brothers stop eating pork, getting lineups, you know. It seems like the niggas with dreads, they're all winning, you know, because that's the current trend, you know. They getting bitches and all of this kind of stuff. We forsake all of that, man. We don't give a shit about that because we see a larger reward, you know, and that's the basis of why Stoicism has so much value, you know, in the truth. But just remember that the Bible, the scriptures are your number one foundation, man. You know, and don't go down rabbit holes and, you know, looking up Stoicism and this guy did that, and because that's how you end up bugged out like those Baramento worshipers, man. All right. So you know, it's just wisdom, you know, that, you know, especially younger brothers that need to have, you know, as you're growing in this thing, man. You know, and read all of the books of wisdom, man. Read Ecclesiastes, read Wisdom of Solomon, read Proverbs, read Psalms, read Ecclesiastes. All right, and it'll give you a really good sense on how to move, because we're getting to the point now where those scriptures of wisdom and the scriptures of prophecy are basically it, man. The history is great to go into and to get understanding of our forefathers and how we got here, you know, to give you the context. All right. And history is good for really, really newer brothers that don't know anything, but they just kind of know Deuteronomy 28. History is helpful then, but by and large, if you've been in the truth for a while, you've been watching videos for a while, wisdom and prophecy, man. Prophecy first, then wisdom. Because the prophecy is the most important thing, you know. I'm not saying wisdom isn't, because it most certainly is, but prophecy is the number one thing. Prophecy is what's going to get us out of here, man, you know. And prophecy is our anchor into that stoic mindset, man. Because if we didn't have anything to look forward to, what would be the point, man? What is the point of denying yourself and suffering now if you know that there's not going to be a reward later? All right? And that's the mindset of hedonism. They don't know that. They don't think that there's going to be a reward. Why? So what do? They soak up as much reward and pleasure as they can now because they don't believe something good is going to happen later. But that's not us, man. We have faith. All right? We're men of faith. All right? We know that there's a reward, so we can deny ourselves of every single pleasure in life, man. You know? And it's not to say that we will deny ourselves of every pleasure, but we have the ability, and that's the important thing, man. Don't get your priorities, fucked up. If you really like a woman, or you really want to go out of town, or you really want to do this or that, just examine yourself, man. And remember that there's gonna come a day where you're gonna want the Lord to remember you, man. There's gonna come a day of calamity where you're gonna pray and hope that the Lord remembers you and what you did. So think about it that way, man. So I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call from all Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakha Wadash. Wa Abba Mabal and Shalom.